Hello, it's George with Watchman German Shepherds. In this video, we're going to do a how to get two adult male German Shepherds to be friendly with each other. So I have Victor here. I have had Victor for about 2 years, coming up on 2 years in November. And then inside, Victor is 3, he'll be 4 in November. It's now currently August 31st. And so, we're going to introduce him to Cross on the left. He already knows Ronnie, and Ronnie's a female. So the thing is, the two males, and typically the males will resolve any differences sooner than females that may have differences. And so, when you want to introduce a new dog into the kennel of the same gender, male, Victor Cross, what you want to do is first let them be in close proximity to each other, but they can't get to each other, right? Victor's not going to come in. But what was going on a little while ago was I had Victor in here, in this pen, he couldn't get out, and then Cross in this pen, and of course he couldn't get out. So they would see each other across and back and forth, and they were barking quite excessively, right? So meanwhile they were 8 or so feet apart, and that is how they were reacting to each other. And this again was pretty much their first encounter, although Victor did come out here while Cross was on the front porch, and same thing basically. That was a bark fest encounter. So not uncommon at all, and not uncommon even between male female. A new male in the kennel or a new female in the kennel being introduced to the prior of either dog there, right? So what I'm going to do right now, and before I do, I'll explain a little bit more the dynamics here, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them on the same area, separated by a fence, a gate, and you'll see out on the porch out adjoining this kennel here. And you're going to see some up close barking at each other. And I'm not going to go through the whole of it, right? But what's going to take place over time, a few days, maybe a few weeks, I would not even think about letting them close to each other without being separated, without doing a couple of week introduction in this way, where when they are close, separated by the fence, the gate, they're calm next to each other. And that kind of takes a lot of the tension out of the air for them. And I'm not a big farmer, but I did have some chickens years ago. And when you want to introduce a new chicken or some new chickens into the brood, that's what you do. You separate them. They can't get to each other, but they can see each other. And you leave them like that for a week or two, and then you can just let them together and they won't fight. If you do not put that wall up, a little barrier between an old, a chicken that you've had, and add a new chicken to the brood, they will fight to the death. Dogs, typically not. Chickens, it will be a death match. But the way to get them accustomed to each other so they're not fighting at all, whether it's to the death or just where one has to walk away and lick its wounds, or maybe they both do, but they won't. It will not be a fight to the death, and typically that's how it is with dogs, unless you train them otherwise. I would say, but the German Shepherd. The dynamic here that we're talking about, they're well within that range. They're not going to kill each other, two males or two females, but they will seriously wound each other or one another or the other, and we do not want that to happen at all. And so, again, if it's going to work at all, it's going to work by a slow process of just having them be familiar with each other. And the male thing to me is a little easier because there's some jealousy with the males, but not like with the females. That's my personal opinion from my experience there. The females, I have one Rosa there, and she could be with a couple of my females, but the other ones, there is just no way, and I just live with that reality. I'm not going to try to force that, and I believe the driving factor there with Rosa for her totally being intolerant to certain of my other females is the jealousy. Right or wrong, I don't know, but it certainly is something, and to me that seems likely to be the reality, is that they get so jealous, and Rosa is seriously attached to me, and no one, well, people can, but no other dog can come near me without her just enraging in jealousy. And so that's her personality, right? And so with the males, it's typically not that way. It can be that way, but to me, I don't think it would be over the jealousy thing. I think it would just be more over the male mating right there, which one gets the right to mate. But again, it's my opinion based on my observation, and in any case, whatever it is behind it all, the likelihood of getting two males to get along that maybe wouldn't otherwise get along is better than two females that would not typically get along because of their personalities, right? So that's a lot of stuff there, and I hope you appreciate all that, because in there are some experience and I believe some reality as to the dynamic of dogs, different dogs getting along with each other within the pack, the kennel here setting, obviously, that I have. This is my pack, so I'm introducing Cross here to the pack. And some of the females, he still has to be introduced to most of my females, but that transition, that introduction, will be a lot less intense than him and Victor, which I'm going to give that time, and they can see each other. And then right now, I'm going to show on the video here where they get face-to-face separated by the pen gate. So I'm going to let Cross out, and before I get out there with the camera, they'll probably be in full bark up mode there. We'll see. Excuse me. So let me do that. Here we go. So you see Ronnie there, by the way. She's calm. She's wagging her tail. She knows Victor. She's been with Cross. They just mated, so. Now it's Victor's kennel, so to speak. He's the first here. I'm watching how Cross is behaving. He seems to be giving place to that. He's not going to get aggressive through the fence here. Victor? Victor? No, Victor. So it seems that Cross would be more willing or a direct encounter by the initial behavior that he's exhibiting. He's going to defend himself, I know that already. But it seems like he wouldn't be the first to attack. Seems like Victor might be the first to attack. Victor! Good boy, Cross. Victor! Victor! Come! Victor! 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 So, as I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get Cross in. I'll do this a bunch of times throughout the day. Let them come close up, separated by the gate. And then I'll separate them. Good boy, Cross. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, so overall, Cross seems calmer about the encounter, and Victor more agitated. Victor, but I think he'll calm down. He'll get the idea. And again, just there being familiar with each other in the same general area, and getting used to the fact that the other one's here and doesn't pose a threat and all that stuff, takes the edge off. And I always relate things on a human level. You can have that dynamic going on where people have to get used to each other, hopefully not in an uncivil way process where, you know, they gotta be separated and all that stuff there. But you get the idea where the process in general is going on a lot of times through humans, through the dogs, through different animals in the wild, of course. And here in the kennel, I want everything civilized, and it can typically be brought about with two dogs unfamiliar with each other can become familiar with each other and not pose a threat to each other and live in harmony, right? And so even still here, Cross he's laying down. He's not at all on guard. He understands Victor's over there. And Victor, you hear him all puffed up, huffing and puffing. And so, well, we'll see. And two, it's Victor's home. Cross is, I'm sure, in whatever port, just giving place there to Victor. And I'm glad he's not being aggressive at all. He does not have to give place, but I think that he is giving place rather than being aggressive. And that tells me a lot about him. And so, it's a little bit there, and I hope you appreciate all the stuff here. And it's a little video, and I will bring a follow-up video. I'm not going to do a series per se, but I will do a follow-up video when I accomplish what I want to accomplish. Victor and Cross playing together, being in the same area. I'm sure that will come to pass. And of course, Ronnie just likes kissing. Come, Ronnie, kiss. Good. Kiss, Cross. Kiss. Your Cross is a kisser too. And that tells me a lot too about a male when a male is a kisser. Now, Victor's a kisser. Victor doesn't want to come in. That's the thing. He likes to be out. He does this routine. Has nothing to do with Cross being here inside. He wants to be out at the end of the day. During the day, when it's time to get corralled, no, not for Victor. Thanks. So, anyway, I do appreciate your subscribing, your liking, your sharing, your comments and questions. Really appreciate all that. Totally appreciate your viewership, and I hope from my end that I give you some enjoyable time here and some informational videos here where you can put them to use, practice, or just increase your understanding about some of these dynamics and situations with the dogs. If you have a kennel, you know what I'm saying already. If you're thinking about getting a kennel or you're building a kennel, well, hopefully this stuff is helpful to you. And if you're just a person that's curious, maybe you're thinking about getting another male, you have a male, or you're thinking about getting a female, or if you have a male, and whatever the mix there, male, male, female, female, male, female, some of these things that I said do certainly apply. And so just slow and steady, the meet and greet, and give it all time. And typically dogs are more willing to get along than people. So I guess that's really the takeaway there. So just give it a little time, and I'm sure you would have success, as I plan to give it a little time and anticipate having success at getting Victor and Cross to be friends. Until next time, above all, the Lord bless you as you trust Him, and you take care, and see you soon.